Today on our Working Boys whiskey review, we're going to be looking at this J.W. Dant Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey Genuine Sour Mash Bottled in Bond. 50% alcohol by volume. So bottled in bond means it's at least half of its pure ethanol. It has to be 100 proof or 50% ABV. It has to be aged for a certain number of time, and there's a few other things that the government looks over. Not every whiskey can be a bottled in bond. It's exclusive. Back in the old days there, the state had to step in and establish the bottled in bond because so many shysters and unscrupulous stillers were basically creating the equivalent of rubbing alcohol, almost the equivalent, and trying to pass that off as consumable whiskey. So, so many people were dying, losing their eyes and everything to it. The government stepped in and said, hey, we're going to step in, we're going to define what bottled and bond whiskey is. And basically, bottled and bond is like a signal out there to drinkers, hey, this is real whiskey. This is safe to consume. It was literally a green light because the old bottles had like a strip of green tape over it. Called the tax stamp, and the red tapes would just mean 80 proof or 40% alcohol. I wish I could tell you more about this bottle because I really don't know anything else about it. But it appears to be a Haven Hill owned well spirit there. Yep, distilled by Haven Hill Distilleries Incorporated, Louisville, Kentucky. Bottled by DSPKY-31 Bardstown, Kentucky. So Haven Hill owns this, and there's one other major brand, Sazerac. So those two own everything you can think of that's in between the Jim Beam and the Jack Daniels. Everything else is Sazerac or Haven Hill. Even Buffalo Trace craft distillery, that's owned by Haven Hill. Sazerac, that's a Sazerac brand. Well, any further waiting. Pop the top here. Very smelly, very corny. It kind of smells like McAfee benchmark. Got that nose right out the way, but not nearly as sweet though, not as sugary or caramelly. So it's a bit healthy shy here. Actually, I was wrong. This is a little more neutral. I smell like the grains and like the corn. I smelled like McAfee's, but it's just a little like drier. I'm a little more like neutral. Okay, I got our emergency chaser on hand because I'm still, a boy when it comes to shooting whiskey when I should be able to just man up, and deal with the fucking burn there. Lots of corn. It's not all that sweet. It's not all that, sugary and welcoming is like McAfee benchmark. So this is a little bit harder to drink. Like I'd say like McAfee benchmark on the hardness scale to drink. Like number one being you can just like chase that, you can just drink that shit like it's Gatorade, easiest thing you ever drank. Two or three like being like wine or like Four Loco or something. I place McAfee benchmark like right around 3.5 or 4. It's that easy. And this I place it like maybe like 5 or even 6 there. So it's right in the middle because it's not as sweet, but immediately that 50% alcohol by volume 100 proof kicks in immediately. You feel that crazy burn, but that burn also brings out the flavor. And well, it's got a high corn bill in it. I want to say, um, there isn't really any information on here besides a government warning here. Um, it's at least 75% corn. I looked it up. I'm not just going by the logo, but I thought this was pretty cool. See the 4 corn kernels that say Dant on them, DANT, and 3 out of 4 of them are straight yellow, like corn, and then the north kernel here, only the tip of it is yellow, so it's like 75 or like 79% corn, and it's like 15% something else, and like 5% like barley or some other grain. You know what this reminds me of immediately? This right here brings me back to another whiskey that's very smooth shooting, incredibly smooth shooting, and it's like around the same burn level, like 5, maybe even like half a point lower, like 4.5. Mellow corn, straight corn whiskey. Mellow corn's got a pretty hefty burn to it as well, but it's just got that. It's got something to it that's a little more stronger than this. I guess the corn content, but it's got this flavor to it. Anyway, I haven't had this in a while, and I forgot how good this was. I got greedy and I started like buying like cheaper shit. I started buying like well, I got that bottle of Philadelphia there. It's not a huge writing achievement. And then I had early times. Before, but honestly, early times doesn't do anything that Kentucky Gentleman can't do. In early times, ain't even in bourbon. It just calls itself Kentucky whiskey that's made in reused barrels. Well, Kentucky Gentleman is shit made in oak barrels, like half real bourbon and then 49% neutral grain spirit. So that's still not a bourbon either. So it's been like almost a month since I had this, and I forgot how easy this was, how easy shooting, And I splurged. I treated myself to a couple bottles of McAfee Benchmark, but I'm going to have to do a taste judge video, How does McAfee Benchmark go up against Dant? Because smelling it, I really like JW Dant too. I really do. I've forgotten how good this was. So let's have another one. Yeah. This is not the best stuff I've ever had, but I'll take this anytime over some of the other things I've bought in the past. I will take this anytime over 10 High. I will take this over Kentucky Gentleman unless I'm on a really like penny pinching day. I might buy the KG. I'll take this over Philadelphia. Well, that's an American blended whiskey, completely different whiskey there. Still, McAfee Benchmark remains probably my favorite. This is the next best thing. If I couldn't get a hold of McAfee Benchmark, I'd probably go with this. right here. You know, I would just, get mellow corn too. Mellow corn's more expensive. You have to custom order it too. You know, I had to place a custom order for it for mellow corn, but I only got a liter of mellow corn, which is like $17.89 a liter. So I don't know how much more expensive it would be. Like this is almost $25 right here, $24.83. Mellow corn was, if it was like a magnum size like this, it'd probably be like a few dollars more. But yeah, winter's coming soon. So is my birthday. I'll probably just place another custom order for mellow corn. I'm close to my birthday. I'll do a taste review on that. Yeah, this is all right. Maybe like a 7.5 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Decent.